Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say, everyone. Welcome to LVS Perspectives number 35, End of Year Reflections. So here we are at the end of term today. And so we've got Mrs. Cox here today, and we're going to be having a little chat.
We are.
And we're going to invite our Head of Performing Arts and also our Director of Sport to talk to you and round up what's been going on. And as normal, you can always put your questions in if you've got any questions at all for myself or Mrs. Cox. Okay, so should we go straight over to the Head of Performing Arts? What do you think?
I think we should, yes.
Oh,
we'll go straight over.
Yeah, to Miss Clark.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm actually going to first do a quick roundup from Art. Mrs. Sanford has asked that I do a few announcements of some competition winners to share with you the House Art competition results. So first we have the winners of the House Art competition, which is Sophia Fitzpatrick in 7 Heart 2, Rosie Robertson in 8 Coburg 1, and Simran Chanda in 7 Buchanan 1. And Will Brotherston in 8 Buchanan 1 and Chloe Jacob Lott in 8 Buchanan 1 as well. So well done to all of those who won. They've also entered the ISA art competition and had 2 regional winners, which was Jessica Chetri and Evelyn Chen. And then a brilliant win with an amazing fashion design from Gray Marvin in a 12 CO1. So a brilliant result there. Well done to everyone who took part in all of those competitions. And so we've had a busy term in performing arts. We started off in the first week back after sports day, and you can see the photo on the screen there of everyone in their sports kit, absolutely exhausted after an amazing sports day, auditioning for The Little Mermaid, and I'll talk about our performances in a minute. But that's how we started the term, and then we went on to do lots of other things. So we've had the ISA dance competition, where we went off to compete at Redham House, and you can see some wonderful professional photos there from the day. We took 5 groups from Key Stage 2 all the way up to Key Stage 4 and 5, and they all performed absolutely fantastically on the day. Unfortunately, we didn't come away with any prizes, but they were phenomenal, and we cannot wait for more events for them later on in the year and going into next year as well. So a huge well done to all of those, particularly our Key Stage 4-5 group, which was choreographed by one of our Year 12, Charlotte. They were brilliant, and she did a brilliant piece of choreography. And then we've had some ISA Young Musician filming. So we have entered 4 entries into the ISA Young Musician competition, and we will be waiting for the results with bated breath and keeping our fingers tightly crossed to see how the 4 of them have got on. And that's a national competition as well. So we look forward to those results. And then we've had lots of other events throughout the year. So we had a fantastic Year 5 and 6 production called Born for a Life at Sea, which was directed, written and composed by our junior staff, Mr. Matthews, Mr. Clayton and Miss Stearns. And that was a phenomenal production, which saw all of Year 5 and 6 take to the stage, and seeing their confidence and their brilliant skills on stage was excellent. So a huge well done to them. And we really hope they'll take part in our Year 5 to 9 production later on in the year. We've also had auditions for our senior play, and I'll speak more about that in a second because that is coming up in the new term, as well as our Remembrance and Christmas service, which had our recordings from the choir. And we've had lots of theatre trips, finishing yesterday with our Year 7 trip to the pantomime, and they had a whale of a time, and it was a really lovely way to end the term. We've had lots of trips, and it's been lovely taking students back to the theatre, something that we've missed performing ourselves, but also we've missed seeing so much. So it's lovely to be able to have that opportunity because we learn so much from each other and so much from seeing professional work. So it's really important that students get those opportunities, and we hope they've all enjoyed their trips throughout the year. So on to the next slide, we have our brilliant production of The Little Mermaid, and there's some photos here and on the next slide as well for you to see, and hopefully many of you got to see their productions, and I thank you for coming to attend because they worked so hard, all of them that were on stage and backstage. We had a huge student crew as well as a brilliant cast on stage, and they really deserved the audiences that they had, and you were all fantastic audiences, so I thank you. We really do appreciate all of your support. I know lots of people came more than once, and will have seen our brilliant understudy cast as well as our principal cast. So thank you for coming along and supporting our students because it meant the world to them and to us as staff. I got quite emotional and not afraid to say it on the last night, because it's been such a long time since we've taken to the stage, and to see the students all working so hard towards this one collective goal and performing so brilliantly, supported by our technical crew and all our staff in the team, was absolutely amazing. So it's sad that it's over, but we've got lots more things to look forward to, and I was just so proud of all of them for taking on quite a challenging rehearsal period and performing as fantastically as they did. Was amazing to see, and definitely one of the most rewarding parts for my job, certainly. So on to next term then. We've got lots of things coming up. We have 3 more ISA competitions, the Independent Schools Association. We've auditioned for our musical theatre competition, which is the poster there in the middle, and we will be filming that in January. We are working towards the drama competition, which will have a year 7 to 9 group and a year 10 group taking part. And we will be working towards the ISA Shakespeare monologue competition as well. So we've got quite a few competitions coming up, as well as lots of things that we're doing in-house. So we have in school, we have quite a few performances and house competitions. So at the bottom of the slide there, you've got Senior House Performing Arts, which has been moved from this term to next term, and that's taking place on February the 9th, and everyone is welcome to come and watch. The way our performing arts competitions work is each house creates their own play responding to, or their own scenes or monologues responding to a stimulus. And so this one was Carnival for Senior House Performing Arts. So they can play a piece of music, they can create a dance, they can create a play or a scene or just a monologue by oneself, and they are all responding to the same theme, and then that's marked by a judge and awarded. So our Senior House Performing Arts on February the 9th, and then Intermediate House Performing Arts, which works in exactly the same way but will have a different theme, will be on May the 25th. And then we've got a few performances in school. We have got Punk Rock, which is our senior play. So for years 10 to 13, we'll be performing that. They've auditioned already and rehearsals are well underway. We never stop. And that's being performed on the 24th to the 26th of February. So more information about tickets will be coming out to you in the new year for that. Then we're back to musicals again towards the end of the year with our 5 to 9 musical, which will be auditioned in February and then performed in June. And we are having Book Week performances. So we've missed out on World Book Day properly for a couple of years. So we want to celebrate that with some performances. So we're actually going to do some promenade performances around the school where lots of students will be involved, performing scenes from plays that have been turned from a book into a play. So lots of adaptations from different books will be performed around the school site. And again, more information coming to you in the new year regarding that. And that also coincides with our LVS Ascot Performing Arts Festival, which is a combination of the music festival for those who've taken part in previous years and our dance and drama festival. And it's all combined into one this time round. And you should be getting information shortly as if you wish to take part. So there's all the different musical instrument categories as well as singing. There are drama, monologues and duologue competitions as well as poetry and dance categories as well. So lots for everybody to get involved with. So another busy term for us in the new year, but we are so pleased to be back doing what we all love doing. Seeing everybody working together is so wonderful. We see it's been great in our classes, seeing everybody back, not online, but seeing all of these extra things that everybody takes part in, where the whole school comes together, particularly things like our productions that we've just seen, our year 5 and 6 and the 7 to 13 production. Seeing everybody come together, the camaraderie amongst the students, the school community really feels very special, and that's such a rewarding part of the job. And I'm so thankful to everyone who's supported all of the events that we've done so far and all of the events coming up. And so all I've got left to do is wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a very well-deserved rest. Thank you very much.
Miss Clark, how do you do it? I was just sat there looking at all of that. You must all be absolutely worn out before you even started.
Yeah,
so really well done.
I think it's the adrenaline and the excitement that keep us going, because it's brilliant being able to do all these things that we've missed out on. So we thank you for the opportunities as well.
No, I mean, when you see the pictures, I mean, they're just absolutely amazing. And I've had lots of comments come through about both the shows that it was like just being in the West End. And you see the children's faces light up as soon as they came in. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
It was really, really lovely. They thrive on it. They thrive in the theatre, and having that professional experience for them, especially for the youngest children. That's such an amazing amazing opportunity, isn't it, for them to be in that professional environment. It's brilliant. Really good.
And I suppose we'll be seeing a lot of infant and junior school house competitions mirroring what's going on in the senior school as well.
We will, indeed.
And the year 3 and 4 production as well, so lots to look forward to.
That's heading up, and our infant and junior school children are involved in the ISA musical theatre, aren't they? And they took part in the dance and things, so lots going on.
Yeah, and a little bit about music lessons in Lambda. Have we had many exams this term? How's it going?
We had a couple of students go externally to take some. They didn't take theirs in the summer, so they went off to a public centre. Sophie and Amelie, who both received brilliant results. But we will have our own exams in April for Lambda and music exams. So everyone's working busily towards those, which is great.
Brilliant. And if anybody wants their child to sign up for Lambda or music lessons, then to contact Miss Clark.
Yes, please do. We've got a new drum teacher as well, so there's lots of opportunities for anyone who wishes to play a musical instrument or take Lambda lessons.
What do you think is the most popular instrument at the moment?
Piano and singing are our most popular. However, drums and guitar have been so popular since the summer. So lots of people have picked up drums and guitar from September, and they've really grown as well. So it's lovely to see how many students are taking these instruments, and there's going to be more opportunities for them to perform to audiences as well in the new year.
And how many children are having Lambda lessons at the moment?
Mrs. Grimstitch is in 4 days a week, and I think she teaches about 60 students.
Fabulous.
Incredible.
It is.
It's confidence for life, that, isn't it? Being able to stand up and talk and articulate yourself clearly is brilliant. And I love the fact that so many of our children have singing lessons.
Yeah.
You know, because when I was at school, it was never an option to have a singing lesson. You know, it was the basic instruments, squeaky violins, squeaky clarinets with those reeds. Oh my goodness. You know, but the idea that having so many children be able to sing, I think, is lovely, and it being treated properly as an instrument, which it is, isn't it? The voice, and it very much so. Yeah.
So thank you, Miss Clark, to your department as well, and also the technical staff, Mr. Kubler, Mr. Cutler-Ames here, everybody working behind the scenes to ensure that these shows can go ahead. So really well done. Now make sure you put your feet up and not too much dancing over the Christmas period.
I'll do my best.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Miss Clark.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And now we'll go over to Mr. Cowell, who is the Acting Director of Sport while Mrs. Pearce is away. Mr. Cowell, are you there?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mrs. Cunningham. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So this term has been another action-packed term of sport, and it's been absolutely fantastic to be back in full competition with external fixtures and tournaments across all age groups in the junior school and in the senior school. Now this term kicked off in slightly different fashion. We returned to school, and day 2 and day 3 we actually ran our sports days for the infant and junior school and for the senior school. Having missed out on these for the previous 2 summers, it was absolutely superb that we were able to fit these in. The house spirit, enthusiasm and encouragement heard from pupils, staff members and from all you parents was so lovely to hear. As I said, missing out on that the previous 18 months, it made it really special 2 days. A highlight of the senior school was the 100-metre final that we saw Jabari and Elliot in a closely competed race. Elliot just took that on the finish line, so we're all looking forward to the rematch in the summer. It's been a really busy term for the hockey and rugby programs in the senior school, with regular Saturday fixtures and training returning for everybody. And some highlights of the year there have been once again being able to attend the ISA national tournaments, and in particular going to the hockey at Lee Valley, where the London 2012 Olympics was held. So the under 13s and 14s headed over there, and under 14 girls actually came away with some silverware, where they came second in the bowl competition, narrowly missing out to Clare's Court in a tense final. So well done to those girls there. The under 14 boys have also had a fantastic season of rugby. They actually won the Go Perform League last week, beating Redham House in the final by 49 points to 17. Some standout performers there in the rugby this season have been Kit and Finn. So well done to those 2 boys. This year, again, we're able to host our ISA girls football tournament. So we've been hosting this for the previous 5 years. Obviously missed out due to COVID, but it was awesome to have this back on site. Over 200 pupils playing and competing during the day. and the success of this year's tournament has actually led us to open up talks to host a boys tournament as well. So another big event possibly to look forward to in the future. This term, the under-18 boys attended the ISA National Basketball Competition at AESC Cobham. The boys performed superbly and actually finished second, so gained some silver medals, which was a really, really good achievement. And also on the day, Shoyam in year 12 was awarded the most valuable player of the tournament. And there's over 50 players there. So to achieve this was really, really, really superb for Shoyam. I don't know, he was chuffed with that. So well done to you. Swimming this year has been really, really busy. Back to all of our regattas. Miss Macaulay has been working her socks off with all the co-curricular clubs. So thanks to her for that. A highlight was qualifying for the ISA regionals, also held at ASC Cobham. And we had a number of medalists on the day. Joe, Sam, Kit, Daniel, and Chloe, Lola, and Annabella all swam brilliantly. And the team deserves a massive congratulations because they did so well on the day. So well done to you, all of you that performed there. This year we were back. Indoor football returned, so we went to the East Berkshire football competitions for the under 12 boys and the under 12 girls. Now the girls made it all the way to the semi-final, unfortunately just lost out on a close penalty shootout. The boys went one step further and reached the final, but again suffered a bit of heartbreak as they lost on spot kicks as well. But both teams performed fantastically, and some standout performers were Izzy for the girls and Freddie and Adam for the boys. So well done to you three. We finished the term with house hockey and rugby yesterday. So a lovely way to finish. Despite the weather, we managed to get all the senior school events running, and the attendance, despite the rain and the wind and the cold, was brilliant. So to have everybody back out taking part in our house hockey and rugby competitions was really, really nice to see. And well supported. We even had some staff and other pupils coming out and braving the weather and supporting everybody from the sidelines. A quick rundown of the results. In the hockey, 6th place, Hart House. In 5th place was Buchanan. 4th place was Kennington. 3rd, we had Coburg. 2nd were Brake. And the winners of the hockey overall were Melbourne. So well done to Melbourne, and well done to all of those that came out and represented their houses for the girls. And the rugby, 3rd place were Buchanan Coburg as a combined house. 2nd place were Kennington Hart, and 1st place, once again, Melbourne, with Brake alongside them this time. So well done again, and thanks to all of those that came out and competed for the boys. The year 5 and 6 house hockey and football competitions, unfortunately, the weather got the better of us in the afternoon. However, excitement's been building over lunch. A number of pupils coming up to us at lunch and asking about it this afternoon. We're actually going to run it as the last thing this afternoon. So a nice way to finish for those guys there. Lastly, some notable achievements for some of our pupils outside of school. So we had Freya in year 11, who finished 2nd in the National Athletics 1500 metre steeplechase and gained a silver medal there while she was representing England. So fantastic achievement, Freya, well done. Vidi finished 3rd at the Thames Rowing Regatta representing Maidenhead. So well done to Vidi. And lastly, Mia, who's in year 9, played her first match for Reading ladies first team in the Vitality Women's National Division 1 Hockey League. Now, this is just one league below the Premier League. So for a 14-year-old to be playing at that standard in goal is a superb achievement. So big well done to Mia there. Finally, just to finish, I want to thank all the pupils that have taken part in all the sport this year and all the parents that have come to support. It's not been the same without you guys on the sideline. It's been absolutely brilliant to have everybody back there. So we want to all, on behalf of the PE department, say a big thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again after Christmas on the sidelines. There's so much more to look forward to. We've got more ISA hockey for both the boys and girls. We've got netball tournaments to come. It's the football and netball season, so our blocks on Saturday for those sports return again. We've got more basketball happening, badminton fixtures. The list goes on and on and on. So there's so much to look forward to for all the pupils. So lastly, on behalf of everyone in the P department, just like to say, have a very happy Christmas, and we look forward to another busy term of sport in the new year.
Thank you, Mr. Cowell. Well, again, I'm worn out again. Thank you to all your department for so much hard work and, you know, determination and commitment to sport as well. I mean, those achievements are absolutely fantastic.
Oh.
No, really well done, and well done to all the pupils. So I'm going to put you on the spot with a few questions, though. Okay, where would you like to see participation improve?
So participation is a big thing for us. We'd like every pupil to be taking part in everything we offer. So after school co-curriculars, and a big one for me is the Saturday morning sport. So we try and get as many fixtures and training sessions on as possible. And we'd love to be able to put out A's, B's, C's and get everybody involved in fixtures. So the commitment to Saturdays, I know we're in competition with clubs a lot of the time, but really like to push that on and get everybody out on a Saturday and really build that programme.
Thank you. And I think we need parent support on that one, don't we? So if your child says, I don't really need to go, yes, you do. You need to get out of bed on a Saturday morning and go and play sport.
From my own experience, school sport is the thing I remember. I played for clubs and all sorts of different teams, but you're with your friends and it's the best memories, school sport. So that would be a big thing for me, looking back at my experience, take advantage of it now, get out there with your school friends and get playing.
Absolutely, it goes too fast. We went to watch our middle daughter play her final game for her school, and it's really emotional, and you think the journey that they've been on, and the more they get involved, the more they get out of it.
Yeah, they do.
So,
and well done yesterday, because I was in my lovely warm office looking at you guys out on the field. The rain was lashing sideways. You know, really well done. The resilience and commitment to get out there and to do that yesterday. Because I thought when I saw the weather forecast yesterday morning, I saw that storm coming in from the west. I thought there is no way this is going to happen. Yeah. And I felt so sorry for the juniors yesterday.
But you know, there were some of our juniors who would have gone out.
Yeah,
they absolutely would have gone out. I think we had to draw the line and say no, this is not safe. But I think they were well up for going out there and getting wet and muddy. I don't think they would have been too worried about it.
No. So hopefully the pitch is not too muddy. Anyway, what's a bit of mud anyway on a Wednesday afternoon?
Yeah, they'll be all right. They'll love it out there today.
It's not as if they've got to wear it all again tomorrow. They're on holiday now.
They are.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mr. Cowell. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
We've got our instrument classes available to the junior school. Yes, they are.
Absolutely.
What's the youngest that you've got having lessons?
Year 2. So generally speaking, we don't do it below year 2. A lot of it is to do with the size of their fingers, you know, and in some of the woodwind instruments, it's their teeth, isn't it? They have to have teeth to adult teeth.
Full stop.
Full stop. Well, yeah, to be able to play. So we do have instrumental lessons and vocal singing lessons. Yeah. Year 2 tends to be the youngest. A lot of children pick it up in year 3, but we can offer to year 2.
Yeah, good. And you know, I mean, you probably played instruments yourself, didn't you? What did you
Badly.
play?
The violin.
Did you really?
And the clarinet.
Right. Okay.
Yes, I played both. And then when my oldest children were younger, I've always had hankering to learn to play the piano. So I had about 18 months, 2 years of piano lessons as well. But I struggled with the bass clef. I was fine with the treble clef. I was fine with the right hand, but the left hand, no.
I feel a little staff recital coming on here.
No. It's been a very long time since I've been anywhere near an instrument.
Okay, no, it's really good to be able to play an instrument as well. It learns a lot of discipline as well, and people do talk about, if you can show on your CV and applications that you've studied an instrument to a high level, it does show your level of commitment, determination, time management. It really goes down well, and they're also still, I do believe, UCAS points as well further up school if you get grade 5 and grade 8.
Yes, I believe that is true.
Okay, so will there be additional capacity added to after-school sports clubs next year filled up instantly? Okay, so is this in relation to the infant and junior school? Mr. Cowell, are you there? Can you answer this one, maybe? After-school sports club, we seem to be at capacity. Is this through Evolve?
Yeah, so people sign up through Evolve. Some of the clubs, due to the facilities, they have to have a limit on. So gym, for example, it's a capacity of 16 in the gym for health and safety reasons. The swimming as well, there's a limit on the number of swimmers that can go in with Miss Macaulay. So I know some of these are really popular, and we have tried to offer as many sessions as possible for all the different year groups. Additional clubs such as the swimming is something, it's been an ongoing discussion of as how we can get some extra sessions in possibly. It's just time constrictions and where to put it at the moment that we're looking at.
I think we need another swimming pool, really.
I think we do.
Yeah.
We could use it full time, I'm sure, if we had one.
Yeah, definitely. And look, we're always looking at capacity as well. So we will look at that. I'll take a look over the Christmas holidays and see where we're lacking a bit. And Ben's just put a message up here that you get up to 30 UCAS points for a grade 8 distinction. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. And thank you for a great term. My youngest Millie had a singing exam today and is really enjoying her lessons. That's lovely, isn't it? That's so sweet.
We have so many singers in the junior school. It's really nice.
Really good. And everyone can sing. And I know we haven't been able to do the parent staff choir this term, but next term we are definitely going to be doing this as well. Okay, thank you, Mr. Carl. I know you've got a busy lunchtime, so you can leave us if you want to, but thank you again. That's really good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye. So now moving on to business now. I think let's get a bit more serious now. I'm going to take this off because I don't want this associated with Christmas. Right. Few moans from the junior school. Then what would you like to say, Mrs. Cox?
Not so much moans, just a few hints and tips to move us forward. So one of the things that we have really noticed since the children came back to school after the lockdowns has been a change in their learning behaviours. And we completely understand why. Because obviously when they were at home and they were on screens, and particularly the youngest ones, where they needed some adult support and things to do that. But we've noticed since they've come back, some of them have lost a little bit of their learning resilience. It's interesting because in so many other ways they are, we were talking about the sport yesterday, and they've been quite happy to go out in the rain and do that. But their learning resilience, their ability to really stick at something and not give up when it doesn't go right first time, and to want to be, I'm going to use the word rescued, quite early in that learning process, we've noticed. And we would really like the parents to support us in that at home by not stepping in too soon, if they're doing their homework, or even if it's got nothing to do with school, actually, if it's just to do with something in life, whether it's doing up a top button or whatever it might be, their music practice, or possibly I remember doing knitting, with my children when they were younger, and the frustration when they dropped a stitch or whatever, and just wanting to hand it to me to say, "Mummy, fix it," and actually not doing that too soon. So they learn to be more comfortable with the "I can't do it at the moment" feeling, because that's all part of learning. And independence as well, independence in dressing themselves, and for our youngest children using knives and forks, and table manners, things like that are the things that we are really noticing and trying to improve.
So we need a bit of help with that, don't we?
We do need some help with that. We need help from parents at home. I know that we all live extremely busy lives, but, finding the time to sit together as a family and have a meal together, and, modelling that sort of table conversation and appropriate use of knives and forks. And they are all old enough, even our 4-year-olds have knives and forks at school. They're all old enough to use that. It's about having the appropriate size cutlery for them so they can handle it properly. But we do really need their support with that, and changing to and from PE, being able to put their shirts on. We understand the little ones are going to need help with their top buttons, that's fine. But, their buttons down here and their zips on their coats, and knowing what they need to have in their school bags, and having that equipment there and ready to pull out, making sure their devices are charged overnight. That's a big thing. So they're using them during the day and they're great, they take them home, they come back in the morning, the batteries aren't charged. Things like that, help from home would be fantastic. And that doesn't mean that parents do it for them. It means that they are encouraging the children to take that ownership themselves.
And it must be so difficult because, I know we've talked about COVID before, and I think we all want to stop saying that word COVID. And, children have missed out a lot socially, haven't they? And I think what we're seeing in the senior school as well, I see my tinsel's now disappeared onto the floor, is that if you look at children, so the ones that are in year 10 at the moment, when COVID started nearly 2 years ago, they were in year 8. And someone pointed out to me yesterday that when they were in year 8, they might have been going to birthday parties, which might have been bowling alley, or they might have been going, into a swimming party and having sort of like McDonald's and soft drinks. Suddenly, these children are in year 10 and they're going to parties where there is alcohol and other things. And I think, as parents and as teachers, we need to be mindful of that. There has been no gradual transition, has there?
No. And the same when I was just talking about changing for PE, it's exactly that. So our children who are, currently in year 4, the last time they were getting changed in school to and from for PE, they were in year 2. And it's that if they'd have been doing it gradually over all of that time, they wouldn't be as adult dependent possibly now as they are still in year 4. So it is things like that. You're absolutely right. And I think that bit is almost the bit that we forget about, really.
Yeah, and I think for me that's the most worrying bit, because what goes on outside of school goes on outside of school. That's none of our business, unless it were to bring the school into disrepute, or it comes back into school, and then we can take a firm handle on it. But I think as parents of that age group, I think we just need to be mindful they haven't had that social transition, have they?
Yeah.
And at their age there shouldn't be alcohol or any other things that might be going, without a doubt. But it happens, it's happened historically and it will happen in the future. But please be mindful, if you have children that age, what's going on when they're going out of school now. And then they're socially immature in a lot of ways. They haven't had that transition, and that's really quite sad, and that's a concern. And that leads me on to behaviour as well. Now, I alluded to in a previous perspectives that behaviour wasn't particularly good, and that is a national issue, and we're seeing that right across the country. I mean, both Rachel and I, we serve on the Society of Heads committees, don't we?
We do.
And that is a common theme, isn't it?
It is, and it obviously manifests itself differently at the different ages, but across all schools across the nation, I think people are noticing that children's behaviour, whether it's play with the primary age, prep age children, the way that they're playing together in the playground, the rougher play, the perhaps not very nice comments between each other, to possibly some of the more mature poor behaviour that might be seen with the older children.
Yeah, so going on to that as well, this is the first full term when we've been back together, and I think, we've done enough excuses for COVID. These are issues that we have to be aware of, and as parents and staff, we need to be able to help our children move forward and come out of this. And we're not totally out of it, as you can see from the news at the moment. There could possibly be other variants on the way now that could cause us a bit of a problem, and I think there's going to be some discussions this afternoon about a plan B as well. I heard that on the news at lunchtime, so we just have to be prepared for the future. But going back to the behaviour, we are a family, we are a community, and I've always said that. And I think we've got to the point now where if children cannot behave as expected, then they will have to leave. And in the 12 years that I've been head, I have never had to discipline children the way I have had to this term. In fact, I think by the end of today, we'll be looking at those who have withdrawn or been expelled will be in double figures. And I'm thinking I'm sending a very strong message that we have certain behavioural expectations, and we will help work with children and parents to achieve those expectations. But we will take a firm line, and you as parents have got to back us at a school, because at the end of the day, this is about your children and their development and making sure they get through to the end of LVS, achieving to the best of their ability and being all well-rounded, grounded young people ready for the next stage of their education. But as I've just said, we will not tolerate bad behaviour of any kind. We will not tolerate the school being brought into disrepute. And so please be with us, stand firm on this. The school has taken really drastic action, and I'm hoping to draw a line under this now in 2021 and move forward into 2022. But should that bad behaviour continue, then I'm afraid more people will have to leave our school community. So that's quite a strong message from me. I think I do envy you down in the infant and junior school sometimes, because they're still young enough to be children.
They are, but as I said before, it manifests itself in a slightly different way, and I think there are still things that we need to learn to manage, and they need to be aware of how their behaviour impacts on other children around them as well, because it's a learning environment.
Yeah.
And when a child chooses to disrupt that learning, they're not only disrupting their own learning, but they're disrupting the learning of those around them. And that's absolutely not okay. Not on
in any school, especially a fee-paying school, when the parents are paying good money to have their child educated in a certain way. And I mean, also, I'm not naive. I've got 3 grown children. You know that. We've both been teaching nearly on 30 years. Some of the things I have seen have been truly shocking. Or heard have been truly shocking. And I think now we've got to get a grip for these children and for ourselves. Otherwise, they are going to have a problem now.
Because they have to learn that they're joining society and to be useful members of that society and to contribute positively and effectively is about self-regulation and self-management.
But also not breaking the law.
And not breaking the law as well.
Yeah,
yes.
because, you know, I've seen cases where the police have got involved very, very quickly with certain behaviours. That goes with online as well. And we've done all we can this term to talk about knife crime and gangs and drugs and online safety and keeping yourself safety.
Sexual harassment.
So sexual harassment, we have done everything as a school that we could possibly do to warn our young people. And sometimes we feel it goes in one ear and out the other. So we all have to reinforce that message. And we've got some lovely comments there. Thank you. You know, thank you for all the hard work as well. Because our teachers put so much into it, don't they?
They do.
That's what makes it a really special place.
And this term, you know, we have returned and do our very best to as Ms. Lovenbury said on there, to be business as usual. But it's not business as usual because you are still dealing with all of these things behind the scenes, aren't we? And waiting to see what the next set of guidance might say or how we've got to adapt things. But we're trying very much for the children's sake for it to be as business as usual and to make those adaptations as minor as they possibly can be. So the staff are working incredibly hard and they are so committed and so passionate about what they do and about the children that we all need to work together so that this environment is as happy and as positive as it possibly can be.
Yeah, I mean, we had the mock inspectors in, as you know, and they're preparing a report which we will give to you as well. We had some lovely, outstanding feedback, didn't we?
We did.
They said some of the lessons that they've seen in the school, right up to the very top of the school, were some most outstanding lessons they've seen in their careers. And these are people that have been in the profession as inspectors and head teachers for many decades.
Yes.
They're older than us, or
They
me.
are.
Yeah. So they've seen it.
You're not that much older than me.
No, not that much. You've thrown me now.
Sorry.
So you know they came with some really lovely things. They've come up with some great observations, haven't they, to help us move forward? And that's what it's always good to self-audit, and therefore you know how you move forward from there as well. So it is all about working together. And I must admit, you know, I have felt really disappointed with what's happened this term. It's just not our school. It's not who we are. And we can make all the excuses under the sun. We could blame everything, couldn't we? But the bottom line is,
it's got to change.
Full stop. Well said. Can I have my tinsel back now?
You can.
Right, let's
There you
move back
go.
to Christmas. Right.
Oh,
hang on.
you've got my microphone. There we go.
There we go. Right. Back to Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho. We've got a special visitor this afternoon.
Have you?
Yes, we have. I think he wears a red suit. You might be going down to the sleigh.
Oh, it's not
Don't know if
Mr.
we've heard-
Cutler-Ames.
No, it's not Mr. Cutler-Ames in his red suit, although he's more than welcome to join if he'd like to.
Yeah.
But we're hoping there might be another one.
Not what Mr. Father Christmas is coming.
He might well be.
And what year groups are going out there?
Or reception to year 6.
And what time are they?
Year 6 are starting off, actually. We're starting off with the older ones because of their house sport. So they will be going out. In fact, they'll be out there right now.
Right, okay.
Hopefully the sleigh's arrived. Yes, he'll be there.
Yeah.
And then we're working all the way down to our youngest children.
That's lovely.
So they'll get a chance to see Father Christmas, and the little ones have had their Christmas party today, had a magic show this morning.
Aww.
And that was all really lovely with their party food and their hats. And yeah.
And we've done all the scholarship interviews now. I think I've got a few more tomorrow for the year 7 and year 12. So all the offer letters will go out. We've done, I think it was 120 external interviews for year 7. So that's all very positive. Lots of people who want to join our school, which is great.
Yes. And reception as well next year. We've started meeting them already. They came in for the morning a couple of weeks ago, and that was so fantastic to see. You know, our reception 2022 cohort. They had a swimming lesson with Miss Macaulay, and then they had an entertainer and some lunch, and their parents all got to know each other. And they're coming back again in January for a PE session with Mr. Gale and some art as well. So
that's lovely.
that's going to be really nice. So already part of our community.
Yeah, really good. And we're looking forward to it. And come January, there'll be so much to look forward to, as you can see. If there's any questions that you want to ask us, please put them through on the chat now. And Mr. Hayfield, who's one of our trustees, our governors, he has said, well done, Mrs. Cunniff and Mrs. Cox. Bad behaviour is expensive and not in the interest of our pupils. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Young, fully supportive. You know, this is the lovely thing. With our school, whenever we have a problem, we get over it, don't we?
We do.
We do. It's just very, very painful for a lot of people, hugely time consuming as well. And, we don't want to see anything ill of any of our pupils. We want them to just achieve their best. We don't want to cause any pain. But that is, it's been a painful process, I'll be really honest with you, and probably the worst end of term that we've had. And it's actually just put my tinsel on this morning, actually beginning to feel like Christmas.
You should have been at the Nativity.
I wish I could have, but guess what I was doing?
I know.
Right.
Well, the Nativity was lovely. If you didn't see it, I think
Yeah.
there might be a link going on the LVS YouTube channel soon, I hope. And it was that's really the start of Christmas, isn't it? When you see the Nativity, it's gorgeous.
So if there's no more questions, we'll just give it another 10-15 seconds. But listen, we really appreciate you being here. We really, really appreciate the support that you give us throughout the year. And as I say, when the sun starts shining in the summer and we're back in that marquee, we'll put all of this back behind us.
We were talking about that the other day,
We were
weren't we?
talking about the marquee.
Yeah, we were very excited.
Apparently they're in demand now because everybody's catching up. Demand, you know what that means?
Yes.
More expense. We'll have to be very careful. Okay, I think we're done. Well, have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes, Happy Christmas.
And Happy New Year.
Yes.
And we'll see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.